I basically took this class because it was recommended at orientation and I didn't have anything else to take. What I expected was a class designed to help English majors become more proficient with technology, which is exactly what I got, but on a scale 10 times bigger than I expected. I hadn't expected all the theoretical work. Mark Prensky with digital natives and immigrants, Ethan Eisman and Nicholas Carr and all those on whether or not digital reading and writing is actually literacy, or everyone's favorite Bruno Latour in The Sociology of a Door, and how technology relieves work. And then there was the recurring question about access. What if I want to play Diablo 3, but a gaming computer costs too much? What if I wanted to create a website back in the 90s, but I didn't know how to work with HTML coding? What if I spoke Swahili, but couldn't find many websites in my language? We considered public domain and copyright and when it was okay to borrow from other people's work, like Walt Disney Animations have been doing for decades. There were so many aspects of writing and literacy in regards to technology, all of them applicable to websites, video games, online classes, parodies, and countless other works I interacted with every day. But where I really learned was through the projects in class. I didn't really get Twitter when I first heard about it, however long ago, and I still don't entirely get the appeal, but I could appreciate the alternate route of communication rather than speaking up in class, which I hate. And now that I know a little more about Twitter, I can make the informed decision not to use it in the future. And if I have to, I know how. Project 1 was more helpful to me. I dabbled a teeny bit with blogs before that, but I'd never designed a website. The most useful part of that was learning about the available sites and using review sites to choose one based on a good balance between user friendliness and flexibility, which, like we discussed in class, is on different ends of the same scale. If there's a lot of flexibility, it's not going to be as user friendly, and I didn't really know how to create websites, so I wanted a nice balance where I could customize a few features, but the templates were there for me to choose from. And that's what I found with WebNode, which I used throughout the class. Now, Project 2 wasn't my favorite. I learned a lot about digital parody and copyright, sure, but working with other people is not my strong suit. Still, I learned some valuable information about communication, the importance of having a strong group leader to keep everyone else on track, and the necessity for synthesis, which we had tons of problems with. Besides, I learned that Facebook groups is great for projects, as long as your group members check it. And then there was Project 3. Right from the start, I was excited about it, even if no one else was. But I think other students were too, they were just bluffing like I was. Anyhow, I had to learn about action buttons, hyperlinking, transparency, and PowerPoint. It doesn't really exist. Inserting, editing, and embedding sound, finding free sounds and sound effects, and pacing a nonlinear story. It was a lot of work, but of everything in the class, I took the most away from it. And although I'm mostly excited to say I've made a video game, sort of, as a creative writer, exploring the strengths and weaknesses of different mediums in projects 1 and 3 was really beneficial. Before this class, I was pretty much set on being a novelist and nothing else as far as creating stories goes. But now I might want to try my hand at webisodes, comics, and indie games, and probably other things. Different mediums play up different aspects of a story after all. Where I might have one story with an expansive world I want my audience to explore, Another might focus on the perfectly paced plot and unreliable narrator, which would be more suitable for a novel, while the former would be more suitable for a game. And let's not forget Project 4. I wanted to cram in a few new skills, namely voice recording and timed PowerPoint, so I could start adding to the world of YouTube and not write an essay. Anyway, after this class, the one thing I'm really interested in doing with my newfound digital literacy is making more choose your own adventure games, experimenting with the graphics, the sound, hyperlinking, and programs besides PowerPoint, maybe Flash. And in addition to public domain text, I'd like to work with parodies, original works, and educational material. And since I'm now comfortable designing web pages and uploading big PowerPoint files to the internet through Dropbox, I wouldn't have a problem compiling them all on a central page. Other than that, like I said, I'd like to start making YouTube videos. I'm sure I'll experiment with more digital text from there too. I said it in my feedback for the class, and I'll say it again. This class is probably the most useful one I've taken since starting college. I can't believe how much my digital literacy has grown since I started it. All the independent projects have made me a more ambitious student too. Like you said, when you're writing an essay, you just think about the word count. Once you reach it, that's it. It's over. When there is no stopping point, you go and explore your literacy and what you really want to do. So, thank you, Dr. Walls, for the awesome class and for promoting learning and creativity. I, for one, had a blast.